I guess I'm having a trilogy because this is a follow-up to yesterday's video, which was a follow-up to the day before's video. And I guess we're on changes, turn and face the wind. I'm talking about how people react to changes in their game. And I'm going to focus mainly on Magic the Gathering because it's the easiest way to explain it. And there's product changes, there's, mechanics changes, there's rules changes, there's bannings, there's restrictions, there's new formats, old formats dropping out, them changing how standard works, them changing the pro scene, that kind of stuff. And often, whenever these changes happen, there are loud complaints because it's a change. And people don't like change. But I don't think that people evaluate change properly because we're sitting now with a very large chunk of people that are playing Magic the Gathering. It may be the largest amount of people playing Magic the Gathering since the game began, and yet all the changes before were met with resistance because it's going to kill the game or it's going to end, whatever people think is going to end. And I just want people to think in the moment, how does it really matter, right? You've got the game pieces you've got the friends that you play with, whether it's at the store or at home or at work or whatever, and you're still playing the game. Are you getting enjoyment out of playing the game? And is your enjoyment being diminished by the actual changes, or is your enjoyment being diminished by how you think about the changes and how you worry about the future? Because I don't know whether anyone should worry about the future of a game, a luxury product, about where it's going to go. I understand that there's value in the product that you bought and you have a value proposition that if you choose to move out of it, you can then divest yourself of it and recover some, most, all of whatever money you put into it, sometimes more than what money you've put into it. But that's not usual with things, with most products. This is something that's unique to collectibles and specifically collectible card games. So the idea that the value of the cards change because of the conditions being changed by the company that's producing it, in the moment, in the short term, it becomes market noise, and it does affect you if you've got these cards that get banned or those cards that get reprinted or whatever. But I would argue that you weren't supposed to think of this as real money to start off with. Like, you spent real money to get a product. Now you have a product. That product happens to be a product that retains some value or all value or increases in value. But it's not a guarantee. No one told you to go buy this thing and sit on this thing to get a certain amount of money. That's not what anyone should be doing. And no one, even in the investment side, is saying that's what you should be doing. All of the investment people, like Alpha Investments and what was it, Nostalgianomics, or any of the other people that talk about investing in sealed product, or even I don't watch the people that talk about investing in singles because that is way too speculative and I'm not that interested in it. But I can guess that a lot of them also don't say that you should be doing this, that what you should be doing with your money, with your savings to prepare for retirement, is to put it into something like a 401k, an index fund, bonds, things that are real, that are tied to real companies producing real things, and that you diversify this so that it's not tied to one thing, and that if your retirement is taken care of, you've got a large chunk of investment that when you hit 65, you're going to make more than enough a month to live your lifestyle as you see fit. Then you can start investing in fun things that are speculative, like sealed product. So, and maybe singles. But What I'm saying is that no one should think that this is some sort of guarantee. And I'm kind of off the on a tangent with this investment thing, but I had to cover that part because the next part is like play. So the play changes because of certain cards being banned or new power cards being added in this, and power creep in different sets and that sort of thing. And again, if you worry about the future of that, if this is something that's going to keep happening, I don't think that that's necessarily a good place to place your worry. There are bigger things to worry about. And again, you have the cards you have. You could just play with those. And you don't have to keep up with everybody at your local game store. You could stop buying these cards at any point and then just play with your friends. And everyone's got what they got. And it's a trading card game. You could trade and you could borrow each other's cards and make your own decks. And there are people that talk about a thing called proxies, and I don't know what those are. They sound pretty dangerous, but there are people that get involved in those, so you could do that, although I don't recommend it. But my point is that there's nothing that anyone needs to get concerned about the future and what these changes necessarily mean. And it kind of ties back to yesterday, that everyone is convinced that they know what these changes mean, and they only mean bad things. And I don't know. These changes have been happening since 1993, and as far as I can tell, they've meant mostly good things, and that we're at a pretty cool place right now for Magic the Gathering. And this also applies to a lot of other companies. And in the interim, in the short term, in these 30, 35 years, there have been things that have been a downturn, been a slump, been a lull, been whatever, and some of the changes weren't beneficial, and the game didn't grow, or the value changed or something. But then other changes negated that or overcame that or made it so that even if it was a negative, overall there was positive. And that's just the way that I look at it, that people shouldn't be getting so emotional about these things. And I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of people will disagree with me on this because, from what I can tell, this is a subject that people tend to disagree a lot on. And also, most people tend to get bent out of shape about change. And I'm not talking about any specific changes that happen right now, because in the last week, there hasn't been one. In the last couple of weeks, there's been maybe some minor changes to Commander or whatever, and I've covered that in other videos. But I'm not talking about specifically Magic the Gathering. It's Pokemon. It's all collectible card games. It's board games. It's it's sports. I'm sure that people that follow sports, that they make rules changes on that too, and people get bent out of shape. And it doesn't really matter. You're not playing the sport anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know your deep-seated fears of change. Have a good day.